I always stress the importance of sharing your story and to also have some sort of story to tell, because everyone has a story to tell. And that's the real way you're really going to draw your people in and to really resonate with people. So here are my ways to be an amazing storyteller and to have a great way of sharing your story and to share that story to the world.
That's good.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm all about helping writers embrace their well-being and evoke writing. And if that's something that really interests you, please hit that subscribe button. I make videos on helping people to be their best version and embrace who they are as a person, share that story, and to be an amazing writer. So we're going to be talking about the importance of a story and telling a story, being a storyteller as a writer, because that's how you resonate with people, that's how you share your beliefs, and that's how you can get vulnerable sometimes. Sometimes it's really important to be vulnerable, especially if you're like a blogger or if you're like a poet or you're a speaker or you're really doing writing that puts your stuff out there, journalist even. I'm telling you, there's not a lot of journalists that are vulnerable and really resonate with people. And I'm going to talk about why it's so important to be a storyteller and how to be an amazing storyteller, and people can really feel engaged and really resonate with you as a person. Step in creating a successful story and being being a great storyteller is to hook your audience with an introduction and being intentional about that story you want to tell and what you want to really show to the audience. So for example, a good example would be Vlogmas. Come on, Vlogmas is really big on stories. Like if Vlogmas is every day during December, you make videos about a story and you kind of integrate who you are as a person, what you're about, and what you want to bring to the world. And it's very important to have a plan of who you are and have a plan of what you want to set out on that story, because if people just see your story and they're not hooked in, they're not going to want to care about the middle, and they're not going to care about the end, and they're going to care about the climax, the result, the call to action. You need to have that hook. The hook is what's going to carry you through your middle and what's going to carry you through your end. So make sure you have that hook. Really draw people in on who you are as a person, what your writing's about, who you are, and have that story that really resonates with people. Like for example, if you're a writer and you've always had trouble with speaking, you weren't an amazing speaker, a lot of writers resonate with that because they're like, oh my god, I've never been an amazing speaker. And imagine if you made a platform for writers to be amazing speakers, and you have a story behind you had stage fright and you were shy and you didn't know how to speak in front of people, and you grew up to be an amazing speaker. That would resonate with so many people. So hook your audience with a story and really have that story to tell, so that you really resonate with people and to really hook them in with who you are and to hook them and just rally behind you. The second step in maintaining a great storytelling vibe within yourself is to be vulnerable with people and share your beliefs. And it's very hard, and I'm telling you, it's really hard to be vulnerable online, and also to just, share your beliefs, because if being a writer, if you try to apply to everyone, you're not going to apply to anyone. You have to really serve that audience and serve that specific group, especially as a writer, because it's so hard to fade away through the world, because writing is often really, really hard to just get noticed, and you really need to just sit on that group and really hit home on who your audience is and paint that picture in your head who the perfect audience is, and kind of draw them. Who are they, what's their age, what do they eat, when do they read about your stuff. And a great example could be, I believe every writer should be grateful and be thankful for what they have and thankful for everything that's been in their life. And that's a great way because it practices the importance of gratitude and the importance of family, and it's just important to be grateful for what you do have and not be always wanting all the time. And that just shows that you're really real and you're willing to really open up and be vulnerable and share your beliefs, share your influence, and not just apply to just the world. You have to apply to just one group, because you need that debate, you need that influence. I'm all about that. You're gonna have haters, you're gonna have lovers, and that's how you really develop that influence as a writer, because it's really hard to grow because you have to really hit home on who your audience is. And yes, I'm getting on my soapbox. It makes me so emotional, but it's important. You need to hit home on the audience, be vulnerable, and share your beliefs, and really stress what you believe in, because that's key to being a great storyteller. The third step is to make sure you include the important stuff and leave the unnecessary stuff out of the freaking story, because people don't want to listen to every piece. Help people paint their own picture in your head about the story and kind of just make their own opinions, make their own things, because if you include everything, people are going to have the same ideas. You want people to have their own flair and what they think of the story. Integrate that belief and integrate really an intended story. Be intentional on what you want to leave people behind with that story. Because if you just include just random stuff to really kind of just add to the noise, people aren't going to stay interested. They're going to leave immediately out of that story. They're not going to feel connected. They're not going to feel like they came out with some sort of inspiration, motivation, entertainment. So people are busy people. They have lives. I'm telling you, they need to come in drawn in, ready to listen, ready to hear it, read it. And if you're not giving them that immediate story, that immediate hook, that immediate everything, they're not gonna get drawn in. So you need to maintain that. First step, probably the most important, is leave people out of that story with a call to action to impact their lives, inspire and motivate people. When you have a story, yeah, it's nice that they loved it and they were entertained and they just heard a story, but you want people to come out with some sort of inspiration, motivation, and a call to action, like, oh my God, like, I feel like I can do this. Like, you give them some sort of information and they could use it for their own worth. And quick tip for YouTube, I'm not big on content. I'm not a content person. You can watch some other people like Ashley Christ. She's a big one. But YouTube, the playlist, I'm telling you, don't just make playlists to organize. That's not how you do it. You need to put stories in each of those playlists. Make a story and kind of like have them like, what's the word? Kind of like progress through each playlist, like it progresses through your life. That's how people grow in playlists. That's how you get views. But back to call to action. You want people to come back with that story with a call to action and to be like, whoa, like, oh my God, I can do this. I got it. Like, like you show someone I can't talk. For example, let's say you did a story, a vlog, or maybe like a blog about the importance of diet and about why it's so important. You share your story about you maybe had hyperglycemia, you maybe had diabetes, and how you overcame it through your health and through exercise. And that can prove to someone, oh my God, like, they overcame so many struggles through diet, and I can do it. Maybe I can improve my health. I can be into diet, exercise, and change my life. That's how you're gonna resonate with people. You can't just be a writer. You gotta have that story. You gotta tell it. You gotta be intentional. You gotta have beliefs. You gotta have that audience, hook them in. And I promise you, if you have all those things, all four of those things that I just talked about, and you kind of hook people's audience with that first step, you will grow. And it will take time, but I promise you, if you stick with it, and you maintain that story throughout your writing career and who you are as a writer, you're gonna grow. I promise. You're gonna get that people who rally behind you. You're gonna have people who love you because they're like, oh my God, like, they have a story behind why they're writing. They have that narrative. They're not just writing. They have a narrative and they're telling it with with vulnerability, with realness, with courage. And that's what more writers need. They need to tell their story. They can't just be a writer and just write to just share to the world. You need to have a why. You need to have a voice, and you need to have value behind all of that behind the page, behind the blog, behind anything that you wrote, so that you really have some sort of thing that sets you apart, because each person has a story, each person has a why behind why they write, and that's how you're going to resonate, that's how you're going to grow, and that's how you're going to stand out of all those writers who could possibly fade you away. If you need a little more help and you're just kind of stuck, please listen to some of my podcasts. There's some stuff that I don't mention here, and maybe some stuff I do mention, but they go deeper, they go in depth about my brand, about well-being in writing and why it's so important to be a writer and how you maintain that longevity and be well. And if you want to join our Discord, feel free to join. I have the link down there, and you can join us and we can talk and we can kind of just like collaborate. It's not that big, it's only a few people, but I'm still growing it. And yeah, reach me out through Instagram, Twitter, you know the deal. But I truly believe every writer has what it takes to pursue who they are as a person and kind of just embrace their well-being and be healthy and maintain a longevity within writing. But if only if you believe that you can embrace who you are as a person and evoke yourself as a writer. I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.